Hello, my name's Mrs. Hine, and last week you may have joined me to make some Chinese dragons, but this week we're going to make some Chinese lanterns like these to celebrate the Chinese New Year. As I mentioned last week, the Chinese New Year is a 15-day festival, and on the very last day they have a Chinese lantern festival. People hang up the Chinese lanterns and then go and admire them. As you can see, there are many different sorts of lanterns and many different sorts of colours of lanterns, but the most popular lanterns are the red ones, because in China, red is a very lucky colour. So now, today, we're going to make our own Chinese lantern. Right, to make our Chinese lanterns, we'll need a few things. Let's have a look. We'll need a nice piece of card and another piece of card. Okay, you could probably find two different colours. That will give a nice contrast. And you need a tube. So a kitchen tube like this. I've used quite a big one. We need a glue stick, scissors, pencil, ruler, and then some strips of tin foil or paper. You could use newspaper if you wanted to decorate, and a little bit of sellotape. Right, we're going to make a start to make our Chinese lantern. So using a tube about this big, I've cut one down, we'll make a lantern about that big. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap our tube like that with a piece of card. Now, if you want to, it might make it easier if you cut it down slightly, because that's a bit long. So I've cut mine down, one that I made earlier, there we are. And we're going to wrap it round, and I'm going to put some glue on first. There we go. You could use sellotape for this if you want, but I'll use glue. I'm going to start, I'm going to roll it up like a sausage roll. You might need a bit of help if you're doing this with mums and dads, like that. Okay, yes, that's great. Okay, so that's going to make the inside of our lantern, and then we need a bigger piece. Okay, now that's going to wrap round our tube as well, but you see we're going to wrap that round as well, but before we do that we have to fold it. So we're going to fold it from top to bottom, like that. Okay. Now you could do this freehand, but I think if you're doing it with little ones, it might be better to add some lines. So I'm just going to draw some lines, like that with my ruler. You can measure them if you want, but I'm just doing it freehand. Okay, and then you can cut them. And again, if we start, you can probably hold it like that to help the little ones cut. We cut. And open it out like that. And then I'm going to wrap it round, and I think I'll put my glue on like I did before. Nice long line of glue. I'm going to let it round. Now you'll notice that it's longer. That's okay. There is a plan. Okay. So that needs to be well stuck down. And again, you could use a bit of sellotape if you want to really secure it, or you're in a rush. And then hopefully, okay, we can pull them out. And ta-da! There we are. A Chinese lantern. And then just to stop it bouncing back up again, I'm going to use a little bit of sellotape there. And then I'm going to turn it upside down, because otherwise it will go like that. Whoops. There we go. And then a little bit there. Okay, so now we've got our basic Chinese lantern. Now the rest of it is up to you. You can decorate it. So as you can see on this one, I've added some bands of different colours and I've added a little handle. So I think I'll do that. I'm going to add a handle, just a strip of, there we go. I can stick it on the inside, like that. I've got a handle. Again, you could use sellotape if you prefer, like that. And then if you've got some coloured foil, like this, you can wrap it round. There. And again at the bottom, I can do the same thing. Just cut a bit more off there. And around it goes. There we go. And if you want to be really fancy, you can have a thinner strip again. Now, if you've got sequins or things like that at home, you could add some sequins. This is just a quick and easy way of decorating. And if you've got other tubes at home, you can make some little ones, or you can make some really big ones. There we are, so flip it round, and there we go, cut it off. You're right.
This is my amazing Chinese lantern.
So there you are. Chinese lanterns to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Thank you very much for joining me to make our Chinese lanterns. I hope you can join me next week when we'll be thinking about spring and making some spring blossom pictures. Bye bye. See you next week.